Man United Fan TV. Guys, you know, I think 2-2 against Nycfc table toppers is a pretty fair result, but what do you guys think?
All right, I have actually a little list that I'm going to kind of go over. I want to shout out Perez. I thought he played fantastic. He was by far our best player on the field, and without him, we would have lost probably by 2 or 3 goals. So I just want to shout him out. Also, I thought Kratz played pretty well. He doesn't usually start. I thought he played a role. I honestly think he's actually our best set-piece taker on our team. So I think it's good to have him in the lineup. And actually, I understand bringing in Barco because he's a big name and, you know, there's a lot of hype around him. I personally thought that was a very risky move because, I mean, right after he came on, we conceded. And obviously, you can't say that that's directly tied to him. But I thought maybe we could have parked the bus a little bit because they were gaining momentum. Oh. Well. Okay, actually, all right, sorry. And then one thing that we were talking about as well during the game is we have a ton of one-footed players. Garza, McCann even at times, and Almiron.
I mean, it's MLS, guys. I mean, to a degree, we have to, you know, forgive this.
We're getting pretty, you know, but that's the kind of fans we are. We expect greatness. We expect to be the best team in this league and pioneers in this league. So I think that's, you know, something that we found very frustrating. And last thing I have to say is looking at our squad right now, where does Barco really fit in? I mean, I really don't know. I haven't seen him play a lot. And I feel like it could hurt us maybe if we try to force him into a position. But I don't know. That's just maybe my thoughts. Where should he be? And
we talk about it week in, week out. If this league is ever going to be taken seriously, the referees have got to step it up. Counterbacking on what Joe said, I thought Perez had a great game. Parkhurst had some moments where he was iffy, but he also he made some good tackles out there today. I thought they forced Barco out there. You know, he looked nervous. He looked like he was trying to do too much in the first couple minutes out there. He did have some good touches on the ball at moments. I mean, it's the same thing. Like when we first sat down, you know, I looked over to Joe and I told him, man, how many times is Garza going to send in a low cross into the box and it get deflected off? And I originally had quoted like 6. He ended up having like 2 or 3, so it wasn't that bad. But height in the box is a problem for us. I think our formation kind of messed us up today. One thing that Joe actually didn't mention is Villalba. Not having Villalba out there really hurt us today. You never really know what you have until it's not there. You miss it.
Should Romario or somebody else have started up top?
I'm actually pretty surprised that Martinez or Almiron weren't taken off and like something like wasn't changed and one of them didn't go out there. Almiron, I don't know what it is. I don't like about the South Americans or whatnot, but sometimes he just tries to do a little too much on the ball. Garza as well. You're a center back. You're a defender. I don't want to see you doing like little like fancy flicks and anything like that, man. You're there to take a touch on the ball, pass the ball, get rid of it. I don't want to see a fancy flick. Like, do your job. Me personally, this game felt as worse, if not worse, than the Columbus game last year that like knocked us out with the PKs. Like that's, I felt like we got robbed. I mean, I really think that we should have got this win today, but I mean, at the end of the day, we drawed. It's going to be really interesting to see like going forward how we're both going to do and playoff seeding implications and whatnot. I mean, I just look forward to seeing it.
Are you as upset as these guys about this match, or how are you feeling?
I wouldn't say I'm upset. I mean, it's not a bad draw. It's one thing that really I thought killed the team was just Martinez himself. I mean, look at that VAR replay. It was taken away because he's offsides. And if you look at his runs that he's trying to make, he's either completely offsides and he's lazy.
He's lazy.
He's not making the run when we do give him the ball. And I mean, going back to Garza, I don't understand why he's trying to take one-time half volleys off a corner or deflection. Yep. Like, you're a defender. Do your job and defend. Don't, like, if anything, take a touch, send it off to somebody like Gressel or somebody that can send it in. And so that's just It's not a bad draw, but there are minor things we need to work on, especially those crosses. Like we don't have the height, but when we do send it forward to Martinez or some of these guys that can get a touch on it and send it in, like that's what we need to boost our strength out.
I'd like to point out that Fernando Torres is going to be available at the end of this upcoming season.
Yeah. But yeah, Chicago Fire have the discovery rights to him. Do you guys honestly think that we would need a Fernando Torres?
I think obviously he's won the World Cup, he's won the Euros, and he's won the Champions League. Anybody who has that resume, easy on my team.
You could just see what a player who comes from overseas does for the league, with Zlatan. Just look at the effect that he's had on the organization the past couple games, and that type of player isn't just good for the team in the locker room. It's good for the fans. It's something that we'd like to see. I mean, it's a long shot, considering the money that we just spent on Barco and whatnot. But I mean, we'd love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, like they said, look at the impact these players from Europe have coming in. I mean, we're no longer that fresh team. I mean, look at LAFC last week. They're the new kids on the block. I mean, we don't have that name anymore. And so whether it's bringing in somebody from Europe or some other experienced player in just to have an impact, I think that's what this team needs is experience on the field, on the pitch, having an impact on the team rather than just trying to be the new kids making a new name for ourselves. So.